This is the plaintiff, Steve. He says he rented an apartment from the defendant, and as it turned out, the place had a rat problem. The defendant didn't do anything about it, just brushed it off, and he wasn't about to live with the constant sounds of them running wild in the apartment and behind the walls, so he moved out. The defendant refuses to return his unpaid rent, plus the cost of the dress suit a rat ate. So he's suing for the $777.41 he's owed. This is the defendant, Scott. He says the plaintiff's making the whole rat infestation problem up because he couldn't afford the rent and moved out with no notice. The plaintiff's being ridiculous, thinking he'll refund his rent when the plaintiff was the one who ran out on him. He has other tenants in the building, and he would have heard about rats from them for sure if there were any. He's accused of being a rat-tattooing landlord.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says the apartment he rented from the defendant had a rat problem, so he bailed. But the defendant says the rat thing is a total lie. It's the case of you, dirty rat.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're
okay,
welcome.
Steve, you are suing Scott for $777.41 that you want returned to you in rent and the cost to replace a damaged suit because, according to you, he rented you a place that was uninhabitable from rat infestation.
Correct.
What happened?
Basically, I left in a hurry on January 12th because several incidents had occurred.
How long had you lived there?
I lived there since June 1st, so it was about 6 months.
Okay, and what had occurred?
I had known about the rats, and on November 22nd,
You had known about the rats since when?
Well, tenants had told me about it, but I was in a little bit of denial. But I saw one in November, and I texted
Did you
him.
know about it before you rented the place?
No, of course
okay.
not. And once I was there, I texted him in November that there were rats, and he brushed it off. And
Okay, you texted him in November, and how did he brush it off? He just didn't answer your text?
I told him about it, and he played it off. He said, was it a rat? Was it a mouse? I said, I lived in New York City for 10 years. I think I know the difference.
Okay. Okay, and did he send an exterminator?
Of course not.
Okay, and did anybody else complain about rats?
Yes, they did.
All right, and how do you know that?
All the tenants, we talked about it all the time. There were
Are
two
any of the
women.
other tenants here to testify?
They are not.
Do you have any affidavits from any of the other tenants?
I do not.
Okay, so what happens?
So what happened is on January 3rd, I was in the city all day, and I came home and I went up to my room, and I found that my headphones had been chewed on. I left them on the floor. See, I didn't eat in my room. I didn't even eat in the kitchen. So I never expected to see rats in my room. And I saw that they chewed on my
Okay,
headphones.
will you hand that to my bailiff, please?
So then I texted him about this, and I told him it was unacceptable, and...
Do you have those texts?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, you'll need gloves for this.
Yeah,
Where
I
are
don't
my
want rat
gloves?
juju. Okay.
So that's what I found. There was the inside, the foam was all over and I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what it was. Then I realized, oh, they got in my room. This is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then in January 4th, I heard one in the TV room. That was the first time I ever heard one in the TV room. So this is a Winston Smith moment coming here. And on the 5th, I left these lyrics. This is a lyric sheet. I left this down in the piano room, and it's this triangular bite pattern. Why they would bite this, I have no idea. But I contend that that bite is consistent with all the other bite patterns that you'll see for all the other things that were destroyed. On January 5th...
Because they're sharpening their teeth.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but they would chew at one of the doors in the kitchen as well, so there'd be all this sawdust on the floor in the morning. It was pretty bad. So I had the lyric bite on January 5th. I saw one in the piano room, and I texted him. I said, they're walking around the piano room as if they own the place.
You didn't happen to get a picture, did you?
No.
Okay, go on.
It was dark.
Yep.
And then I heard them, the other tenants had said, yeah, you hear them in the walls and the ceilings all the time. I had never done that. I had never heard them until the night of January 5th when I heard them in the walls, and it was a pretty terrifying night, as you could well imagine. So
Right.
I informed him by text on January 6th, you can start to advertise my room. And then on January 7th, I said, I'm out this weekend. And then I saw him January 11th, which was a Sunday, and I had no idea you were leaving. This is, I'll give you back.
Have you ever communicated with him by text before?
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see your text on your phone. Tell me what's going on, sir.
Where do you begin? I've owned this home for 10 years. I have tenants that have been there for 6 years. They're happy there. The month before he moved out, he had asked if he could use half his security deposit as the rent for the month and give me half a month's rent. That kind of like made me start thinking that maybe he's having some financial difficulties. I allowed him to do that. The next month, he paid the rent, and then he let me know, I guess, the week that he was moving out, that he was moving out. When he moved out, I gave him the other half of his security deposit back. He wanted the prorated month's rent back again, which on a month-to-month, you don't get your month's rent back. I've been a landlord for 20 years. So I told him I'll give him the rest of his security back, but I'm not going to give him the rest of the month's rent back because I need to try to now, in a last minute, try to re-rent the room.
Right, but see, the exception to what you are saying is if you are not doing your landlord duties. Then, if you are not doing your landlord duties.
Right.
For example, if there's a rat infestation that he can prove and it's not a ruse, and you are just ignoring it for a month and a half, he has a right to leave and get back any penny that he is unused, because if the place is uninhabitable, then you don't get to keep any of that rent. So that is really my question. Did you ever receive complaints from any of the other tenants about rats?
No, I never.
You have never had another tenant complain about rats?
No. I also have found out by calling up a couple companies that I guess mice and rats are delicacy eaters, which means they like food and good food. So why would they be upstairs in his bedroom eating an earphone unless they were looking for his earwax? I'm trying to understand what they want with his earphone.
Okay. It's, A, it's not that funny, and B, they eat anything. They eat anything, including in an effort to sharpen their teeth. They eat anything when they're looking for nutrients. So I really need you to tell me what, if anything, as a landlord, you did when you received a text from him on November 22nd saying, I saw a rat in the house, not a mouse, very disturbing. Ernie says he can get rid of them. Who's Ernie?
Another tenant.
I don't understand how neither of you have anything from the other tenants.
Some of them are still living there, so they might
So
not have
what?
wanted to.
Go ahead. The ones that
I
weren't.
also took some photos so you don't think that this is a
No,
rat
the nicest
home.
places. The nicest kids could get head lice, and the nicest places can get rats. It's just an issue of eradicating the issue. So now, tell me what efforts you did after you received this from him. I don't see a response from you on November 22nd.
Okay, I contacted a couple of different companies just to make precautions.
I don't know what that means. Did you hire somebody?
Yes.
When did you hire somebody?
Probably right around the January time. They came and they put on the outside of my house these plastic boxes where I guess the rodents are supposed to go inside and eat food. And they put like 4 of them in the 4 different areas. They called them quadrants of my house. Just to, an argument, just to try and see in case there's anything to lure them outside. I also went into the Home Depot and bought the mouse traps and the rat traps and tried to put peanut butter and stuff, you know, and they just sat there and nothing was there. So why?
Okay, are you telling me that you hired a company and that the company attempted eradication and that they did not find a single rat?
That is correct.
I need proof of what you just said.
Okay.
Okay,
I would have to call
you
them.
should have a
I
report
would
from
have
that
to call
company saying what you just said.
Okay, I do not.
How could you not? That's the entire case, is this, to show that he's making up the rat problem.
But in the 10 years I've been...
I don't care about your 10 years any more than you care about my 20-something on the bench. I want proof.
Right,
You picking up what I'm putting down here?
right.
Okay, so if I give you a recess, will you be able to get proof that says that we went in there and there were no rats?
I can try. I could call up the company and see.
Good.
And
Court's in
his
recess.
proof is where?
Pardon me?
His proof is where? Where is his proof?
Oh, you didn't see it?
He doesn't
Take
have
all the
photos.
rat bitten up stuff and put it on his desk, okay? And then you
But how
go
do we
call
prove-
the
how do we prove that
company
that's rat?
and find out. Should I waste both of our times, or are you not going to get this?
I'm just wondering how we prove that that's
I want to
right.
know if I should waste both of our time or whether you think that you're not going to get this. What do you think?
All I could do is call the company.
Great. Court's in recess.
All rise.
So how many rats does it take in an apartment for a tenant to have the right to bail?
One.
Just one rat?
Just one rat.
Yeah, but that can happen, right?
One rant, that's it, man.
And you can leave and not pay anything? One rat?
No, I think it depends on how it's being handled. If this rat is being, exterminated and everything is good after that, you're good.
What if a second rat shows up?
Well, then maybe that's not the good.
Yeah, second rat's a bad sign. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, Scott, were you able to get the proof that there was no rat problem from your exterminator?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
Okay. All right. There's a surprise. Now, you are claiming $200 for a damaged suit. Let me see the suit that you're talking about.
Yes. It's right down here.
She'll figure it out. She's good like that.
Oh, my. Okay, then. Do you have a receipt for this?
No, I bought that a long time ago. That's the suit I got married in, and I still fit into it.
Are you still married?
No.
Then it doesn't have a lot of sentimental value.
It did make it longer than the marriage, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's actually in very good shape. Okay, I am ordering the defendant to return the $577.41 because I find that the plaintiff has been able to prove that the apartment was uninhabitable in its condition. I am also ordering the defendant to pay the plaintiff an additional $75 for the depreciated value of the suit. That is a total judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $652.41. That is my verdict.
Well, the plaintiff proves his case, and so you, as the landlord, if there were rats in there, that's disgusting, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And so, what are you going to do about it?
There are no rodents inside my home.
Who ate his headphones? You?
Yeah.
What do you think
We don't
happened?
know. I have no idea.
He just chewed on him and brought him in here to win the case, probably. Good move.
Thanks
One
a lot.
way to win a case. All right, head right down this way. Why did you eat your headphones in your suit? Why'd you do that? Just to win?
I'm a vegetarian.
Uh-huh.
Just kidding.
I mean, how disgusting is that when you see it?
It was
The rat.
definitely disturbing. There were several that I saw, but
Rats in your house.
yeah, that was bad.
How big were they? Okay.
Garden variety size, but
Garden variety size rats.
Yeah.
All right, so you moved out,
indeed,
and now?
nothing.
No
Maybe
rats?
some ants.
You lonely?
No.
Harvey?
Okay, you know, in every state there's something called a warranty of habitability. It's implied in every lease, which means that you have a right to reasonable health and safety. If you have a rat infestation problem, that's a huge breach of that warranty. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.